You guys can see? Well, okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yamala Rosario, and my partner is Haley Paulino. And so far, we started on our project. So we had to include the table, like the contents, so you guys can know what we will be speaking about. And we had to add a picture so you guys could visually see what our presentation is about. And it's the Smallpox Hospital Memorial. Right now we are talking about the history and talking about the hospital. Could you guys see what it says or on this slide? Yes, no.
Yamilet, can you
It's
present?
a little bit hard
Sorry.
to see because there's not a lot of contrast between the background and the word. That's something to keep in mind next time. It's all good. We'll move on.
Yeah, just continue with your presentation.
Okay, thank you. So then we added more history on where it's located and what type of side, like there's the south wing and the north wing, and what they do on those sides, because not many people know, like when they're doing research it will pop up, but they might not know specifically what's the difference. So we decided to add that for extra information. Then this is like the recap of what we just mentioned, so you guys can know like what we talked about already. Personally, I wanted to add a nice quote from somebody that was a smallpox survivor, and wanted to show like their point of view. I thought it was something unique to add to the presentation.
And for the last slide, we have our mood board, and our ultimate goal is to make everybody feel welcomed and have a friendly community. And we just want everyone to interact with one another.
I decided to add some more information like on the architecture of the building, because it is very important since we are in an architecture school. And I just wanted to decide to, get some information about the building and when it was made, who made it, where is it located, for people who are interested in going, and what type of purposes this building used to serve, and what type of style this building is. Also, I wanted to get a little bit in depth of the creator, the designer of the main building of this hospital. Then I wanted to show a little timeline of when it was created, which sides were built first, and who designed them, because some people think only one designer created the whole hospital, and we just wanted to inform you guys, like, who did what's the timeline, because it was not created all at the same time. And thank you guys for being here and letting me present to you guys. Thank you very much.
Yamla, good job to start off. Put your presentation back on.
Okay, I will now.
Thank you, Yamila.
Yeah.
Anytime. Could you guys see?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to start off, once again...
sorry, Mr. Cody, to interrupt. You can click on present, Yamina, so we can see the presentation in big form.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So to start off, I like to say that I like the way you talked about these are the things that you're going to talk about, and of course, Regan's Kessler are going to have their input. There's only one thing that I'm going to speak about when it comes to go back to that slide, the mood board.
Okay.
Yeah. So I spoke to a lot of the students prior to going to the mood board. I'm going to explain to you what we are looking for when it comes to a mood board. Okay. So
Okay.
I want everyone, in the screen to pay attention to this image, and then I'm going to present to you something that I've gathered to actually show you what actual mood board should be in terms of a project. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of the presentation. So I'm not going to speak too long about the presentation because I know that you just started now, just joined us. So I like the way you spoke about, the way what you're going to speak about in the future and what are the resources you're going to gather. And I even like the way you incorporate your own style in terms of the history, what facts that people know, what facts that people did not know, and also a quote. That was amazing. I like the fact that you incorporate a quote. I have not seen that as of yet out of all these years about how that quote could actually symbolize something, and that could probably help you in your future design. So go to the quote right now. Did you go in depth and study who wrote the quote and what they meant by this? The younger ones used to stare at me
Yeah.
as if I was okay. Explain it.
Um, so basically, there was a guy who wanted to tell his story because he did have smallpox, and he just wanted to show his point of view because I think many survivors probably felt unheard, and they wanted to explain like how serious it was and how physically it affected his childhood growing up. So I decided to pick out one piece that he said that stuck with me, and hopefully it stuck with you guys, because I wanted to show like, we're talking about this project in the hospital, but how did the people feel? We are talking about how we want the people to feel when they see my presentation, but I want if they can make a personal connection to the smallpox survivors, or people who had it in general and did not get to survive. I would like to. So I thought it was like how us teenagers could probably, connect to it, as in like sometimes when we, physically other people don't like how we dress or whatever, and we get discouraged by it because, not everybody has the nicest comments. So I just wanted to show a little bit of his point of view and how he felt, and I didn't want to make it too long, but I wanted to make it something memorable.
Excellent. I like once again. I like the way how you incorporate that with the history and how it should not be forgotten. Just like, and that's the whole essence of historic preservation, about something that is dear to us in our memory, what people have been through, and why this building should not be destroyed. And I want you to keep that quote from what this person stated throughout your whole design process, knowing that you're designing something not to destroy it, but to rebuild it and add to it and keep the essence of what this person is speaking about. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so Rodriguez and Kessler and Butt Smith was going to say a few things, but I just want to show you and everybody else something real quick about to get understanding of what a mood board concept should look like. Okay?
Okay, I'll stop presenting now.
No, don't worry, I'm presenting. I can take over.
This is Heather Butts. That quote is incredible. I mean, I feel like you should, to Mr. Cody's point, I think it should be incorporated somehow into the actual design, maybe. It reminds me of like the 9/11 memorial with the names or something. There are other memorials that have quotes embedded in the actual design. That might be something where you have other quotes or I don't know, but I think that quote is extremely powerful. And again, I'm actually just getting ready to send the class the presentation I was talking about. But that, in some ways, represents the history in ways that it's kind of hard to replicate. And I think also the fact that you tied the quote to modern day. A lot of times people wonder why we study history. Why does it matter? It's done. It's gone. But the fact that you could tie that quote to what happens with young people and teenagers today, it makes it extremely relevant. So I think somehow if you can figure out how to have it incorporate within the design itself, and then to keep that connection with current times, I think that's a really winning idea. So
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Great job.
That's awesome. Yamala, can you see my screen right here?
Yes, I've seen that you use furniture as like a mood board.
No. This is just for interior space. I'm gonna show you different type of mood boards. So a mood board shows you the ideas that you want to have within the space, not invoking emotional people holding hands or showing some happy moments. When it comes to architectural and design, so if you have the space for you, you have to think about on your team, what things can I transform the space into or add into the space. So I'm giving you an example. If someone's working on interior space design and they have a blank space, they're going to start off thinking about the color schemes, the type of things that's going to go within the space, not part of emotions, but how will the space look like based upon, and they have to start thinking about colors. They're thinking about furniture. They're thinking about lighting. But for you, for the smallpox, and that goes for everybody that's working on similar projects, you're going to think about what can you transform this facility into. And once again, Rodriguez gave you the information on Pinterest on looking at mood board design. Please use those as well, because we know that if you have not and you have, because you're still thinking the word mood in terms of emotion, but you're not thinking about the space and how what the program of the space could affect the mood of the individual. So as of this space right here is interior design space, that they spoke about the colors. So now, Yamalet, by looking at this space and all the colors, how would you feel within this space?
Very modernized. I will feel like it has a lot of, creative pieces. Like I wouldn't know where to start looking. Like I would just be so like amazed and very observant of the space and feeling good because there is some pieces that, that brighten up the place. It's not all dark.
Okay, so now let's look at the smallpox idea. Now, do you have any idea of what you want the smallpox to be?
By looking at yours, I got like some ideas running through my head, like maybe how it looked. Cause I saw in my research, they said that they had like 100 rooms. Maybe I could incorporate a picture of how one of the rooms looked.
No, what I'm referring to is like the space is going to be vacant. So if you want to search for the community, what is one thing that you could transform the place into? The interior.
I was thinking about a museum.
Okay, that's one thing. Okay, awesome. What type of museum?
Like maybe a children's museum. So like.
Okay. So yeah. So sorry about that. Haley, continue.
So like we can teach the youth about past, like what happened in that building.
Okay, excellent. So with that being said, you're gonna gather some children museum images. That's part of your mood board design concepts. So then people have flower gardens, so they found images of different type of flower gardens, like for example, the vacant lot. So they started gathering images about what the space could be to invoke an emotions. Like, of course, if we have a park, children will love it. It brings happiness, it brings joy, fun, if togetherness. So that's what you're trying to do when it comes. That's why they call it a mood board, because the way you design the space, you're going to try to invoke an emotion to make people feel within that program that you want. Okay, Yamala?
Yes.
Okay, other than that, good job. Kester?
Yeah, Yamilet, could you please put the presentation back up? Thank you.
Could you guys see it or?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, so the quote, Codio and Miss Butts have spoken about it. Yeah, as a person of words who prizes words and understands the importance of those words, especially for a memorial. Absolutely, I'm thinking about somewhere near the entrance. All right. Holocaust memorials, museums always have quotes, along with so many other museums that are set up as Miss Butts mentioned, the September 11th Museum. These museums with the purpose of memorializing an event and those who perished in that event or those events. Those quotes are very, very important. Can we look at some of the other slides?
Do you want to look at towards the starting?
I can't. Unfortunately, for some reason, your screen is very small, so I'm having a difficult time.
I'm showing that I'm presenting.
I think, Mr. Kessner, you can pin if you select on her, I guess, or on her image. You can pin it, and then it'll.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. So there's a lot. There's a lot here, and one thing that I want to work with each of the groups is cleaning up some of the mechanics, because with such language heavy slides, you guys are going to be making mistakes, and so I don't want you to be making to have those mistakes in the final presentations, because I take tremendous pride in publicizing things that are mechanically intact. So I want you to do the same, because I'm working with you. So I will be working with each of the groups, providing you with insights regarding mechanical errors, so that we can fix those when it comes time for your next presentations and so on and so forth. So we'll dig down on that a little bit more next week. Overall, Yamilet, you and Haley, guys, Yamilet, you have a great personality. You've done your research. I think it's up to you two to now continue doing more research. Mr. Codio gave you the insights regarding the mood board, and I know you guys are going to turn it around and take that direction and act on it. So I'm looking forward to the second presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So Yamile, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to show you, and I guess the rest of the team, right? A few things that you can do either using Google Maps, and Mr. Cody has done this previously, using Google Maps or Google Earth. All right. All right, and then we'll move on to the next team. Okay. So, for example, Yamile, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
All right. So, have you used Google Earth before? And Haley, it's very good with Google Maps, and I think that you can install it as an app on your phone. But you can also, if you have a laptop or a desktop, you can also install it there. It's called Google Earth Pro. All right. And what you're going to be doing, and this goes for everyone else and their corresponding site for their project, all right, you will be generating high definition images, especially top views and site views of our projects. Okay? So we're going to make sure that our north arrow is facing up. Okay, it's at the top, right? And I'll show you that here. You go to images. I'm sorry. not that one. It's this one. Okay. Here you're able to save your view as a JPEG. All right, so you can just go ahead and save it, and you can save it into your desktop. Call it site map. Give it the location name, right? So this would be Smallpox. All right. Okay, and it has an image. What's good about this is that you can give your image a title as well, right? So you can title it, and you can change the resolution so you can have an HD version of that map, right? And you can also say, well, I just only want to see, right, just the image. The other thing is also you're able to deactivate, some of these views so you can have a more clear image of the site, right? So like, let's say, for example, if I want to get rid of the roads or if I want to include them, all right? And then you can zoom in and you can have more close-up images. And let me just deactivate this here, north, right? And have better images of your site. And then we're gonna start pulling these images into your presentation. Okay, so that will be the next step for your team. All right, and everyone else pretty much. All right, so I just wanted to highlight that. Does anyone have any questions in regards to that? All right, now you can do this also using Google Maps as well.